Let me know. I see all the comments. So, I think I tried to connect with the other one. It was not happening. So I don't know what is going on with Zoom and scheduled videos, but for when I just pop up live, everything is okay. So I don't know why it's doing this, but at least I know now so that when we are live for this Saturday, I'm like not going to even be like trying to schedule anything because it just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to even schedule anything because it is just going to act a fool. So I don't want that to happen. We're going to have a great Q&A next week. Let me share this to the other live for the people that are waiting, because I don't want them waiting when I'm live. I want them to come over here. So, this was a test, okay? I was like, let me see if I can get this thing to work right for us on this Saturday, because I invited my girl Nicole over. She's going to really, really just give us some, like, the business on a great side hustle. You guys have been asking for something that you can do from home rather. You've been asking for something that is simple, easy. And so she's got a spend on things that is going to be dope. So let me go ahead and put in the other Zoom room, so they know to come on over here. I hate that it's not working. You guys don't know how much work I put into getting this thing together for it not to be working on all the scheduled stuff, especially when I do everything that I'm supposed to. What? It is on. I'm literally on it right now. It's not on the one it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's my tech guy. Like, it's not working. I know. I know. But okay, I am excited to be here with you guys. I actually like just going live on YouTube. I don't know why the schedule thing is not working, because it would be so great. So if I'm going to go live on YouTube, I'm seeing that I have to just go live. I can't on YouTube. Me trying to connect to a scheduled in YouTube is just not vibing for me. So we're going to have to try to find something else for you guys. But this Saturday, I'm going to just go live. I'm not going to give you a scheduled link. For those of you who are inside of Credit on Fire on the wait list, the early bird wait list for our Black Friday specials. And I also selectively will invite, I do this periodically, those who used to be inside of Credit on Fire as well. We are going to connect live. So let me put this in the other post just so they are on point. So, I cannot stand things not going the way it's supposed to. But I am ready. So you guys can go ahead and start dropping those questions inside of the chat. And let me tell them to meet me here. All right, so now at least they have that information. They have the link at the top. And let me actually pin the comment of me telling them to meet me, because me and this scheduled Zoom child is not going. So yes, I see your questions. And you said the link is not working for her. What do you mean the link not working? I literally clicked on it and it's me. I see myself. Let me know. Okay, I want to make sure that you guys are in here with me. And it's me. Oops, I hear myself. Let me know. I'm seeing your comments. We are all good. All right, so let me get, all right, she says, all right, I see you. I'm responding to you right now. She responded twice. All right, let me know if this one works for you. Oh, I see you over here. Okay, so that works good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I know. I tried to get us all together. I don't know what's going on with this connection and me and Zoom, but we spent 2 minutes talking about this. I'm done. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get your comments so we can get this Ask Me Anything session going. Okay, I am ready. My line of credit was cut. Why do some companies do that? I actually got a couple of questions on that. So this is the time of risk assessment. So with risk assessment, what happens is that companies are noticing prices are going different. People are spending more, balances are increasing. And so they are like, okay, if they see balances increasing on a card, they're going to automatically do what? They're going to pull back. Also, if they have a lot of clients, and it may not be you, but a lot of card holders whose balances are going up and it's starting to kind of impact bottom line, or they're kind of saying, I should, I got to kind of be mindful of this, then they're going to find their most riskiest buyers are those who just don't use the credit card a lot. And then they're going to go ahead and just do a universal. If the client doesn't meet X, Y, Z guidelines, then we're going to universally cut all limits of people or card holders who don't meet that criteria. So it's either cut or cancel. So you're a part of the cut. So your risk level must not be that bad, because a lot of people are being shut down completely. I'm glad to see you guys over from the other link back over here. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on with the other one. I apologize profusely, but we're getting together. All right, so that's what they're doing, and that's exactly why it happens. I'll actually do a longer either blog post or video on this, and then if you're on the email list is literally just frugalmail.thefrugalcreditista.com, frugalmail.thefrugalcreditista.com, and anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week, depending on what's going on. We send emails about stuff like that, updates on blog posts, video lessons, freebies, and all of that good stuff. So I'll do a longer, more in-depth something about that. Adrian said, what's the topic? The topic is our line of credit was cut, and why do some companies do that? So it's literally about risk level. It could be the risk of the individual client, risk level overall on all of their clients, and just making sure that they're protected. And this is what happened since the Great Recession, because a lot of companies were really left holding like a lot of debt, and it put a lot of companies at risk. A lot of them closed. So that's when they started doing that. All right, so let me actually pull up. I said I was going to do a mixture of some of the questions that were pre-submitted and a list of the questions inside the Zoom room with me. So there's one that says, I just need help fixing my credit really bad. What should I do? Where should I start? You guys know, I always start with, well, aside from goals and all of that good stuff, when I look at the actual report, I always start with breaking down your report, because you got to learn how to understand your credit report. That is the only way. Otherwise, you'll get to the point where you're removing stuff you shouldn't be removing. You are paying stuff that you shouldn't be paying off, that you should very well leave alone, restarting statute of limitations. You're disputing stuff that probably is so much of a higher balance that you run the risk of getting sued and getting a judgment. So it's a lot. So that's why I always like learn how to break down your report and to read your report. So I actually have a couple of tools. There is a free learning center. It's not, well, everything not free, but this is free. It's my online learning center. I'll type it in here, prosperitymakesense.me. That's our online learning center. And you're going to find a couple of things. You're going to find some freebies like, how to read your reports, a checklist, a credit repair checklist. You're going to find a Prosperity Partners credit manual. And then I have a pay what you can conquer your credit course on there as well. And it's literally pay whatever you can, whatever you want to bless me with. And it's literally like a 5-day in-depth course that like breaks it down bit by bit by bit. For those of you who are already in Credit on Fire, who are on the wait list to join Credit on Fire during our Black Friday sale, you are going to follow your 90-day success path. And please do not download anything else from these freebies. As a wealth creator, I want you to follow your 90-day success path. It's literally broken down over 90 days, 1 week, 1 lesson, 1 important task, and for you to spend the entire week working on that. And then, of course, you have your live support with your credit coaching call as well. So make sure you're doing that. Okay. So I gave you answers for those of you who are partners or part of the free community, and resources for those of you who are a wealth creator. My mortgage on my investment property is not showing up on my credit report. I call the servicer. They say they are reporting to the credit bureaus. What should I do next to correct this? You can call, but I would have documentation of like, what you've paid, who the company is, what you've paid, and kind of like a payment schedule, or even copies of your statements, even if you want. It typically takes about 60 days, but no more than 90. I'm not sure why it's not showing up, but that's, and I'm assuming since you said investment property that it's in your name and not like under your business's name, because I know a lot of people purchase under LLCs or even corporations. So if it's under your name, meaning it's you that purchased it and not an entity, then yeah, it should be reporting as long as they're reporting it and sending that information. Otherwise, if you as a business, as an entity, then it would ask them who they sending that information to and start building business credits. Business credit around it, start building a business profile on it. I got 2 messages about 2 months ago on my Nailnet account that my student loans were forgiven. Now I got an email that payments have resumed, $8K more on a consolidation. So what was forgiven? Because I know for a lot of clients, they were a bit confused. I can't even say clients. A lot of you guys, a lot of prosperity partners, a lot of wealth creators were confused because one portion were forgiven and then there's a balance on another side. They found out that that balance that was remaining were not under the Department of Education loans. They were instead under either private student loans, FFELP loans, which were the older loans. I think it's before, I know it's before 2000 when they stopped doing them. So if you got them older loans and you never consolidated to the Department of Ed, or Parent Plus loans, like there's a variety of different loans that didn't fall under that forgiveness. And so there is nothing wrong with picking up the phone and seeing what's going on. And I can tell you right now, I literally got an email about an hour before I went live. She said that the whole time was like over 90 minutes. So when I tell you that you will be holding for hours, and the student loan attorney said the exact same thing last week, we are serious. You will be holding for hours, and the whole process with a lot of the larger servicers is a hot mess right now. So yeah, unfortunately that's the case. You will have to pick up the phone, see what's going on. But first, definitely log into studentaid.gov, log in and see specifically what was forgiven, and then you can know how to frame your questions. Why wasn't this included, etc. So I would do that. Correct the senior person name. Okay, you may have to just send them information and be like, start reporting, but it doesn't hurt to call and just see if they've been receiving that information. If not, get the contact name, number of the person that you spoke with. But trying to call all 3 bureaus, that's going to be you carving out some time, and that's a lot of time. But I mean, if you want to, go ahead. Otherwise, you can just send a letter into all 3 and be like, start reporting to get it start reporting. How sooner or later should I request to have charge-offs removed from my credit reports after the statute of limitations has passed? It's coming up for next year, and I'm trying to get it out of law. So information does not get removed from credit reports based on the statute of limitations. I sure wish they did, but they don't. They get removed from the federal reporting limitation. So the federal reporting limitation is a federal law, and that's what credit reporting is based off of, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act says that the date on our credit reports remains for 7 or 10 years. Of course, 10 years are bankruptcies. And then for anything else, it is 7 years from the date of last delinquency, or basically 7.5 years around that time. So typically about 6 months prior to those 7 years, you can start requesting an early exclusion. Otherwise, you do what a lot of people do, which is a credit repair to attempt to get it off. Please follow my process that I have outlined to make sure that you are not putting yourself in a hot seat. What do I mean by that? I'll bring up examples. I have had a client, student, I keep saying clients, you guys know I shut down a client business, but I had a student who took the Ultimate Credit Masterclass. It's something that I did for years. Still available on replay, but it's something that I did for years, and she did not follow the path. Okay, she did not follow the path, and she started attacking anything that was negative because she heard about it inside of one of those popular credit Facebook groups. What happened? She got sued because I literally outlined all the companies that are sue happy. I outlined all the companies that do pay for deletes. I outline things that you may not want to touch by looking at when the last time they reported. And so I've outlined these things for you in all the places that I mentioned so that you can avoid getting sued, avoid reducing your credit scores, which is not the goal, because you're disputing stuff that you probably shouldn't dispute. Also, We guys know the 5 areas of the credit score, right? The biggest one is payment history at 35%. Then you got amount owed, which is where the bulk of your utilization lies at 30%. You have age or length of your credit history at 15%. You have mixed, meaning how different types of accounts that you have experience working with or having. And then you have your inquiries, which is your new credit section. Both of those are 10%. So we mainly focus on the top two, 30% being payment history and 35% being payment history and 30% being amount owed or utilization. However, 15% is very, very important. That is your age. So a lot of times when you guys are disputing your student loans or you're disputing like mortgage accounts that may have when it's a foreclosure, I had some late payments, but you've had these accounts for like 10 years, 7 years, 20 years. I mean, you kind of want to leave those alone because it's going to take you a long time to get that age back. And you're going to find yourself in the upper 60s, 600s, maybe the mid to upper 700s and just being stagnant. Nothing is moving. This is common for those of us with kind of new credit or rebuilding after bankruptcy. I went through it myself when I filed bankruptcy. But for those of you who haven't had any of that and you're just trying to get every negative thing, not everything with all that history and a few little late payments is worth you losing that history, because people who have gotten to the 800 club, who have gotten to 820s, even 850s, have had late payments like 4+ years ago. So just focus on building more positive credit if that fits where you are now with your credit profile. Let me see. Let me see, have the pre-submitted questions been answered? Did you pre-submit me something? Let me see. I mean, I thought I refreshed. I got one. Hold on. Let me check. I don't know if I got your pre-submitted question. If you want to send it now, look, if you don't want to put it here and you want to send it now, like if you want it to be private or something, definitely do that. But I answered, I only got a few pre-submitted questions and I kind of answered them or included them inside of my comments for some of the other questions. Let me check one more time. Let me see, pre-submit questions. I'm looking for your name specifically. I do see Ms. Ellis. I see a couple more people, but I do not see you. So if you can type it out really quickly, I can answer it. It's about a payment plan versus a charge-off. How long after bankruptcy did you buy a house? I'll answer that. So a payment plan versus a charge-off. So give me more information. So give me more information, like on the background. What do you mean? Should you do a payment plan or should you let it charge off? Is that what you mean? Or give me some information. And then we can kind of go off of that. All right. So bankruptcy. I actually did not use my credit to purchase a house until like years after bankruptcy. For what I did, and this is, everything's going to be different based off of the market, the economy. So back then, the prices were super low and people were not giving out loans to people who had just filed bankruptcy even 2 years ago, 4 years ago. It was just very difficult for us during the Great Recession. Yes, you can answer your questions here, Lynn. So what was happening is that those prices were dirt cheap. So homes that were 150,000, 200,000 were literally selling for 5 figures. And so we got our home off of HUD for, was it even $25,000? And that's one of the homes, I don't know if you're on an email list, but I mentioned that I sold it 2 years ago for $179,000. Was that not a come up? Remember I said during that whole period, I don't know how long you've been a partner, but during that whole period, I was like buying stuff like crazy. We were living off of, I mean, our budget was tight because I had a feeling this might not come back around again in my lifetime, unless I was like old as dirt. And I'm glad I did. It was definitely our come up. During any type of market, there's certain industries that are creating millionaires, and this one here varies. So that's how we were able to do it. However, during this market, it's actually more affordable to build than it is to purchase a pre-existing home in some markets, not all markets, but in some. And that's because people are buying pre-existing homes. That's your arm length transition. It's you and it's a seller for like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, you guys see how expensive these homes are. However, if you go out there, you buy land, you get the construction, you're okay and comfortable with some more creative financing, you can actually get a home built for much more affordably, as long as you're not like in like city areas. So if you're okay with more suburban, kind of rural and all that good stuff, you can get you a nice little house that you can eventually sell for as the market shifts again, and then get into the area that you eventually want. Or you may be happy out there. I had somebody in a New York area. She purchased something in a more rural area and she loves it out there. It had a investment property in the back and she's good. She can walk in with her home and investment property in the back and she's all good. So what was your other questions? What do you do if you have someone threatening to sue you but will not provide evidence of the debt in writing? It could be a scam because they're not supposed to legally threaten to sue you if they don't have the means or the right to sue you. Number one, if you have requested validation, and especially if you've done it in writing, they have to provide this information to you per the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. You guys can go look that one up if you want. There's a free copy actually in my the online learning center I mentioned to you guys, prosperitymakesense.me. But if you have submitted it in writing, they have not responded, they are supposed to stop all attempts to try to collect the debt until they properly validate it. Now, validation, there has been, I can tell you off the GP, I guess, but if they feel they've already validated, they can kind of deny it, but the last thing they can do is like completely ignore you. If they do completely ignore you, I should say, if they do completely ignore you, then they can't keep contacting you, talking about they're gonna sue you. Tell them to stop calling you, tell them to submit all information in writing, and if it comes to that, at least you'll have their information in writing to be able to fight it at that time. And once you get something in writing, then you can respond back in writing. But you can also, that's limiting the type of communication that you have with a collection agency. They do not have to keep calling you. They can mail you and then you can respond in mail. And you guys, I don't know if you were here for the last session, sorry, that was my dad. I don't know if you guys are here for the student loan session, but she works for legal aid. And you saw how dope she was. I have met some phenomenal attorneys that get free assistance out at legal aid. So it varies by location. I'm gonna be real honest with you. It definitely varies by location, but if you guys ever need legal assistance and at least wanna attempt to go that route, at least check it out and do so as early as possible because you could get some coins in your pocket if they are a legitimate collection agency. So don't be, if you know the name, Google the collection agency as well. Is it on your credit report? Like you gotta kind of do a little bit of investigating because we had somebody who was really, really going after a family member of ours and they weren't even legit. They were like somewhere in a place that starts with the M overseas somewhere. So can't remember the name of the country, but that's what we found of it. Just doing some Googling. Just doing some Googling. I was applying for a loan and found there's a $3,000 delinquency on a student loan. The school told me if I paid in full, it would be removed from credit. Is it better for my FICO to pay the debt? So in this case, is this loan going to prevent you from going back to school? Because sometimes schools will hold your transcripts, they will hold your basically everything. And it may even prevent you from getting other funding in the future. So is it going to prevent you from accomplishing like a core goal of yours? Because I am the queen of settling something so that I can get to my goal. I'm a goal crusher. That is all like, what do I want? What does it take to get there? And what is the best and least expensive way in order to get there that's going to get me there quicker, faster, better? That's all I focus on. So answer that question for me. What if they are calling you, you don't have an address to send a request to? Then they shouldn't be calling you. Tell them to mail you. Like, I just want to limit my conversations in mail. And then record the conversation because like I said, it could be a scam. They should still identify themselves, right? They should still tell their name. This is collection agencies, by the way. They should still tell their name. They should still tell their why they're calling. We're calling to collect on a debt. They should be confirming that it's you. If they are really getting aggressive, then that increases the chances of them being a scam. Primarily because since those new collection laws have passed, like they have really been walking on eggshells a little bit by making sure they stay within the parameters, because I don't know if you guys know, but there's like a threat against the CFPB and trying to take them down. And now they're like CFPB is not playing, basically is what I'm saying. Like they're really going after companies who are not doing what they're supposed to do. All right, I would like to know if it's possible to remove a bankruptcy from my credit report. I've looked on YouTube, I haven't no success. I've looked in, I think this is Facebook groups, still no success. I filed in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's gonna be removed. Okay, let me know if I'm tired and wasting my time watching YouTube and TikTok videos on this. Thank you so much. All right, it's almost gone, so I'm kind of shocked. It has like 3 more years. I wish you were live so I can know your goals more, and so I can kind of know what you vibing with, right? But yes, you can remove bankruptcy. Are all of the methods that you probably have already tried going to work 100% of the time? Absolutely not. Number one, I look for errors. I look for missing information, such as the type of bankruptcy, the courthouse, docket number, all that good stuff. The amount that was discharged, look for all of that information on there to see if there's an actual dispute. You can, I'm sure many have heard, to send a letter to the courthouse and they'll say, you know, we don't report to the credit bureaus, but the credit bureaus don't even say that anymore. They will tell you specifically that they got it from LexisNexis, and TransUnion will say they got it from LCI. One of the reasons that people say to freeze those reports is to stop or halt or minimize communication, but that literally only works if you do it at the very beginning, because once the transfer of information has started, when they reported that information to your credit report, you can limit it with LexisNexis, but at that time, I mean, the transfer of information has already happened. So at this point, you want to start attempting to remove it from LexisNexis by disputing it with LexisNexis. LCI is starting to say that they don't, you know, accept disputes. LexisNexis did this for years until they were sued. So just keep trying. TransUnion, is it true that TransUnion no longer verifies through they no longer verify through LexisNexis? Actually, I did get an update. Let me see. Let me open up my email. Because TransUnion just got sued not too long ago. It was a nice little, what you call it? But TransUnion completed a sale of LCI. I know I saw that. I got little updates. Google sends me little, you know how you set the, what do you call that? Google alerts for different things. They sold LCI, and I'm trying to see. Nope, they said that they still use LCI, but they did complete a sale of it. So they said that they still use LCI in this press release. So the press release is from January 2023. So if something's happened by then, I haven't gotten an update on it. So that's the latest one that I've got. And LCI stands for LCI Consumer Center. Let me make sure though. Yeah, it's even on LCI's website that they still are confirming everything through TransUnion. So you can Google that too. I literally look at the press release on TransUnion, and then I went to LCI's website, LCI and TransUnion, and on LCI's website, it says that they still verify. So you can do that too when you're looking for information. If so, it's much easier to dispute things. LCI is not easier to dispute things. Absolutely not. Nope. LexisNexis has become really good, but much better at the disputing process of public records. For LCI, no. Nope. So for that very reason, like they don't even let you accept disputes. They're like, if you want to copy your credit report, contact TransUnion. If you want to verify any bankruptcy information, contact TransUnion. They do have like a little email address and a mailing thing, but they haven't been as like, for us personally with our students, especially who've taken our Rebuilding After Bankruptcy class, or those inside of Credit on Fire, they've had a better, I should say, experience with LexisNexis and LCI. And it could be because LCI is newer. LexisNexis has been around for a minute, and LCI is just kind of newer, okay? So let me know if that helps. All right, let me go back to my pre-submitted questions to make sure that I have all of that. All right, so this one is for business. Okay, so this one is a business question. So basically, you are a real estate agent. You were looking to start making some, let me read this verbatim before I mess up your message. All right, so you are a real estate agent. Yes, I used to be a realtor, and you're looking to get something together for Black Friday because you've never ran a Black Friday sale. You read over a few of our emails regarding Black Friday, and you are looking for ideas. So I'm going to be honest with you. I am an introverted entrepreneur. I'm an introverted CEO. And one of the things that I found that generally works for me is to build a community. And in that community, to find out what they need, what their goals are, what they're working towards, and then to become the person who delivers that, whether it's through me or whether it's through another professional whom I call wealth partners, and to just really just serve and love up on my community. And that creates an ongoing relationship. It creates an ongoing revenue stream because, you know, I know what my partners need. I know what my wealth creators need. I make changes according to those needs. And I really just want them to win. And so if you are like this with your real estate clients, one of the trainings that I absolutely love when I was a realtor, it was called By Referral Only. And I totally revamped the whole way that I do business by seriously keeping in touch with my clients and making 90% of my customers come from referrals when I was in real estate full time. And so I was invited to birthday parties, baby showers, anniversary things, getting married at weddings. And I called it politicking, meaning that, you know, I was shaking hands and kissing babies, but it was more than that because I was developing real relationships that I still have today, even though I'm out of the industry. And I also partnered with other professionals whom I can continue being of service with, so that when they called up looking for certain things, I now became a connector, a resource, right? And so if you have been doing this with your other clients, on the flip side, you should also be doing this with your leads. One of the things that literally killed me in my business is letting leads walk out the door when I first started. And then I forgot what training I took, but I was a queen of training, okay? But I took a training and they were saying that your leads, and this is even any business, your leads, you really have to nurture and prime them to get them ready, but especially in real estate. People used to go, oh, they ain't ready, you know, let them walk out the door. But I got one phone call that changed my life when it came to letting leads walk out the door. I followed up after a while, and she was like, oh, I told you I was going to buy a home. I'm already in my house. And I just felt so salty because I needed that sale. Okay. In the beginning too, like I needed that sale to go through. But you shouldn't recognize the value of a lead by the time they've already gone and bought with somebody else. The value comes when they entrust in you and they come to you for information. And you follow up with that information. And the information that you follow up with doesn't have to be you personally picking up the phone, because there's so many automations that exist now. It can be a card. I'm excited for you doing X, Y, and Z. Hey, I noticed you're looking to fix your credit. I know some realtors are a little bit iffy about referring credit repair companies, but you know, I put together a little guide to get you started. Here you go. If you need anything else, let me know. Hey, how are you coming along? All this can be automated. Give me your email address. One of the things I like to do is text every now and then and email every now and then to make sure that I'm keeping you aware of what's going on in the market, in addition to making sure that you have you know, what you need to prepare for home ownership. You should be doing workshops, whether it's online or in person, so that people can get the steps between you, your insurance person, your mortgage person, and so they can know. As you're there, you should be getting feedback. You should be listening to these questions. You should be listening to ongoing commentary surrounding what's preventing them from going from lead to claiming those keys. And once you start getting that information, hopefully you already have this. Now you know what products to start developing. Are you going to do a paid workshop? Are you going to do some type of planner? There's so many home buying planners out there right now. Are you going to be doing some kind of workshop that revolves around that? Are you going to be doing some type of training that centers around maybe non-traditional forms of home ownership, such as seller financing, such as purchasing a HUD home, such as, I mean, it could be anything. So as long as you are hearing that, then it should be easier for you to know how to serve them on a more product-based level or a digital product-based level. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. But I've always been the one that like build the community and then serve the community. I'm a community builder. That's kind of what it is. I don't like to like create something and hope it'll sell. It just causes too much disappointment. You have to keep your ears to what your leads, what your prospects, what your past clients want, and then give it to them. And maybe giving them what they want, but then giving them what they need as the main need of what you're offering. So hopefully that helps. Yep, I will be leaving. I think I'll be leaving the recording up. I'm not going to stop the recording. So I think as long as I'm like not live anymore, the recording stays. Let me know if it doesn't. Let me make sure. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm not recording it on Zoom. Okay. So let me go ahead and start recording on Zoom. If you want me to repeat something, because I was just putting it on YouTube, let me know and I'll repeat it for the recording. Is there anyone under your umbrella who has knowledge about becoming a notary signing agent? I have a class inside of Credit on Fire that has like literally the step-by-steps on how to be an agent and then how to be a notary signing agent. And I have somebody from Chicago that trains people. There's another person as well in North Carolina who's really good. They are just a resource. So I can definitely have them come in and like give us some information on that. So let me know if I don't know if you're in Credit on Fire still. So let me know. Let me know if you're in Credit on Fire. If not, remember this year's wait list, sign up for it because the special is going to be bomb. Okay. All right. Any questions on that before I go forward? All right. Perfect. All right. So let me go to one of our pre-submitted questions again. All right. Oh, you said you saw me on Tiffany's platform the other day. Thank you. So you are looking to obtain a business loan in your credit. You can still do some things with your credit when your credit isn't the best as far as business loans. But you have to build the foundation first. Like you can't just go in and be like, boom, I want funding. Like it doesn't work like that. You would have to, there's different ways. So you can be a business that's making money already, and you can use assets, equipment, and all of that in order to get your funding. Or you would have to be something that starts or a business that starts like from the, tier 1 cars. Those are like, Uline and Granger, and then going over to, the next level, which may be, a small little, I don't know, loan from like, trying to think of it. Maybe what's that one that starts with a C? Credit Strong, the business loan or something like that. So you would have to like do the tiered levels, tier 1, then tier 2, then tier 3. And that takes a little bit of time to develop. Okay. But it is possible. Depends on how fast you need that funding. And simultaneously, you should definitely be fixing your credit. I cannot tell you how many clients of mine who did like the little smaller stuff. And then when they went to like major loans to build out something, expand, et cetera, they were denied because even though that company isn't relying on, or the lender, I should say, isn't relying on your personal credit to give you the loan, they still want to review and make sure that the CEO is financially solvent. In addition to all the business, right? All the business stuff before they approve you for the loan. So there was like denials like crazy. And I think they're a bit more diligent now. And probably the only thing that will prevent them from checking or being worried about credit as much is if your business is already very profitable. For us, we were a cash only business. I did not do the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 starting off. I did Bank of America and Wells Fargo have secured cards. Already had cash flow coming in. So US Bank was offering me stuff like crazy because we were already cash heavy. I would not have done that again. Like if I had to start from scratch, I wouldn't do that again. I would start off with that slow tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I would still do the secured cards. But I would not be cash heavy. I would take my time because we could have grown faster had I not done that. You see what I'm saying? because I made decisions based on the amount of money that was coming in instead of the amount of money I could have had access to grow quicker, faster, better. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me remove this comment and let me fuck you. All right. Do you have any information on Fallsdale University misleading students? I went through this with schools and ended owing thousands of dollars and couldn't transfer my credits. I don't, but there should be some information with the Department of Ed if they're going to remove those loans. So I was not aware they are a private school and wasn't regionally accredited. So did they take federal funding? That's the main thing. Like, how did you pay for it? Because if they took federal funding, then let me see if they're on the Department of Ed's ombudsman. Because if you didn't pay for financial aid, there's really nothing that they can do as far as the Department of Education. Well, I don't see them on the ombudsman list, but I do see a lot of complaints about them. So, I mean, that's about all I see. So let me know. So yes, they did take federal funding. Well, if that's the case, then I don't see anything, but that doesn't mean anything in the works. This may be one of those situations where you may want to call the Department of Ed directly and see what's going on, because I don't see anything on the ombudsman site. Let me just do one more quick. Let me see. All right, and you know who helped? There is an attorney who comes in every now and then, another student loan attorney. And by the way, did you do anything with the borrower defense repayment? Did you do anything like signing up for that? Let me know in the comments. Because I'm looking on the site here and I don't see. Let me see, blah, blah, blah. Nope, I don't see them as far as like anything that the Department of Ed has said that they're going to do right now. I was unaware they're, oh, yes. Okay, so let me know some more info. Okay, no. I mean, you can try to do the borrower defense repayment plan. All you have to do is type in borrower defense repayment, and then the link will pop up, and then you can kind of go that direction. If you want to schedule a consultation with the real estate attorney, let me find his information. His name is Attorney Tate. Let me get his info and put the link right here right quick. He's really good, like Natalie. They just have different strengths, like different things that they focus on. But he has a consultation page. Here it is. But he's really good. So like Natalie, of course, is my bae. Okay, Black Girl Magic, you know, but he's my brother. So Black Girl Magic. So there we go. Black Man Magic. So he's really good with questions like that about the forgiveness programs, things like that. Natalie, of course, is great at bankruptcy, your student loans discharged during bankruptcy, forgiveness. Like she's wealth of information. So I would definitely schedule a free consultation with him to see if we can get some things going. At least you'll have the information that you need and what to do. He's very direct, very straight. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, don't come there with your feelings all in the mix. You gotta be woman tough. Okay, when you talk to Attorney Tate, I'm gonna tell you that right now. But he's really, really good. Okay. Can I lose a judgment in court if I've never been served? Receive a message saying hired to do an address verification, which I assume is an attempt to serve me for an old debt. You can only get a judgment if you don't show up to court or if you lose in court. If you've never been served, then that is a reason for you to contest the judgment, because everybody has to get served. But if you feel that you got a message saying that they've hired someone to do address verification, they're going to eventually just send someone out there to serve you, period, at the address that they have on file. And then as you start getting information, you can just try to fight it. But I would not try to, I don't know, I'm always leery about giving my address out to random people just because of identity theft. that's going on. It's just so many scams going on out there. So whew, keep an eye on your mail, check all your messages. That's all I can say. But you can only lose a judgment if you fail to show up, or if you show up without a proper defense, or they just had a better defense and you lost. That's about it. There was another question. Let me go back up here. I am trying to purchase another home over 800 per FICO score, 2 already in my name. What is the best way to proceed? Pretty sure my DTI is too high with both loans in my name. Yes, that can be sure. So this is typically when people go to more creative financing, hard money lenders, things of that sort. And it also depends on like are you trying to do buy and hold? Are you trying what are you trying to do? I did have a good hard money lender. Let me see if I can find this information. If I can't, shoot me an email. But I don't know what your overall goal is. And it's a house or investment property. Let me know. And then remember, you got, do you have the 20% to put down? Like, what is your, I need to know your investment goal. Because as you know, your debt to income ratio with 2 properties plus anything else that you have going on is a lot. All right. Oh no, my chat is frozen. Okay. Let me go back out and come back in. Actually, let me go back in. Okay, so this is buy and hold and its investments. So this is very common for investors who are just starting out, which is why a lot of people do the BRRRR method: buy, renovate, refinance, rent out. I don't know what the acronyms basically. But basically it's buying something that's undervalued and then fixing it up, renting it out, and then refinancing it so that you can pull the money out for your next investment and you're not relying on traditional financing. But you know, there's hard money lenders, there's seller financing, which is really big right now. And there's other lenders who give loans specifically for real estate investing, and they each have their own criteria. It can be, you know, the deal, like the quality of the deal. It can be a requirement for rents. I mean, it's so many different factors. And it's time for you to start investigating those factors. One of the things that I used to do, just because the real estate industry and opportunities change so much, is I would often attend some of those good real estate investment meetings. And I would get like just some great ideas from those, because everybody has been where you are who's investing as like a full-time thing or on a regular basis. And so when you connect with them, I mean, they give you so much information. Like for example, I would often talk to Christina. What's Christina's last name? I think it's Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera in St. Louis, Roshana Scott in the Chicago area. Like the reason why I can name them off like this is because when I got to a certain point, I would talk to people who were in real estate full time. Kendra in the East Coast, she's in Texas now, like this. All of these people now have popular Instagram pages and they teach this. So I would get local to your area, find those real estate meetups, and really, really start networking to find opportunities, lenders, their requirements, different methods to make sure that you are buying in a way that's going to take you in the right direction. Networking was a lifesaver for me when we were acquiring property like that. Like, you know, at one point we had like 10 that were completely paid off in cash. I told you when I bought them, okay? I bought them all during the recession, okay? And like it was bomb, because once we relocated and started living a nomadic life and living abroad, and was able to make buy property abroad and all that good stuff, then those properties definitely helped out. So it's all about your goal, your overall strategy, being solid on that, and then making sure that you network and constantly stay plugged into different investors in your community so that you can know what to do when you hit your next step. This is very common, okay? That's why I'm saying that you want to network. that was a lifesaver for a lot of my clients, for myself. And that's when we start moving all of our properties out of our name. Like we were just, buying up the property. It's like, no, get these properties out of your name and get them inside of a corporation. Now you can build business credit. That never even crossed my mind because I was a realtor in residential real estate. All I did was buy homes, first or second investment properties, second investment properties. Anybody who wanted a little vacation home downtown or, here by the lake, inside in near Indiana up on the Chicago side. So that's what I was accustomed to. But just doing that was like a lifesaver for me. Well, you're very welcome, BH. Very, very welcome. That was a lifesaver for me. So I know my girl was on. Let me see where she is. I don't see Miss Janelle anymore. Let me know if you're still on here, Janelle. I think you were probably on the old one, mad at me. Because Zoom didn't work. I am so sorry. I don't know. I tried. I said it was a practice. So I thank you guys so much for being understanding. Now I know what not to do on Saturday. Make sure that you are opening up your emails tomorrow. I'm sending the link to our Saturday session. I am going to give the Zoom link, but if Zoom gets full, then it will be live on my channel. Okay, that's probably the best that I can do. If you are looking for a side hustle, something you can do from home, something that's relatively simple, as long as you have a solid strategy behind it, then you definitely want to be on this Saturday's call. I have Nicole Johnson coming through, and she is absolutely phenomenal. Hi, Janelle. I'm so excited to see her. So for those of you who have been asking me about credit repair in the Texas area, you definitely want to hit up Janelle. I'm not sure if you are licensed in another state yet, but she is the Frugal Creditista certified, honey, and definitely hit her up if you're in the Texas area and you are looking to get your credit, your money, a strategy plan or plan of action in place. She is definitely the sister to go out to. So what's up? What's up? All right. Another question. Let me go back. I just had it in front of me. Home buyers. Okay, so you're a home buyer and you are looking to. Okay, so you're home. This is not written well, so I'm sorry, but if you are, I think you guys are speed typing, trying to hurry up and get the question in. So I believe what you're asking is that you are a home buyer and you're an aspiring home buyer and you are looking for a way to get to buy a home soon. That's what I'm thinking this question is. If not, just reply back to in that same form and let me know where I messed up at. Let me know where I messed up at. So, but essentially, yes, it is expensive. Okay. The rates are high. The prices are high. There are some opportunities still available, but you really have to search for them. I don't know if you guys are have a lot of HUD properties, if you have a lot of foreclosures with like Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Notice I mentioned some government real estate owned properties, but there's also bank owned properties. One of the things I liked about FHA or HUD foreclosures is that they provide like a escrow. Depending on what your debt to income ratio and your credit scores are, you can get a renovation loan. So it allows you to go in still with, not the best interest rates, but at least you can go in at kind of a lower price. Start looking up, like I said, construction, really go into locations, because right now getting like the super expensive, even convenient location to like the city and this and that, and it's high. It is high. So you may have to be more creative with I shouldn't say creative. You may have to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? You may have to be more looser with your guidelines, for lack of a better word. Yeah, the good thing is they haven't like completely stopped people from being approved. It's just the amount that they're approved for and the interest rate, which affects the amount that you're approved for. And don't forget to get this free aid, because of all the stuff that was like given during this year, there wasn't like a ton of grant funds available, but they are projecting that that's going to change next year. So you guys should be looking for free money, like your life depending on it. That especially goes to those of you who are going back to school too. I know that's completely off topic of home ownership, but if you're going back to school and you have kids going to school next year, you should be looking for grant funds, student loans, like your life depending on it. Okay. So this is the sign of searching for some free money. This is a sign of searching for some free money. Janelle says, I've been trying to catch you live, but I've been so busy. Oh, well, I hope busy is a good thing. Okay. I'm loving that. All right. The next question. Yes, it is this Saturday. We are doing a side hustle. I'm emailing it. I may text. I don't know. Text is very expensive nowadays. That's why I've been emailing you guys like crazy. So sorry, but that's what we're doing. We are emailing and we are posting it inside of the Credit Makes Sense Facebook group. And so if you are not on the email list, definitely go to frugalmail.thefrugalcreditista.com. Let me actually type it here. frugalmail.thefrugalcreditista.com. I forgot to spell it. I could spell the Frugal Creditista wrong. I spelled it wrong. All right, let me put the link in here. And then you guys will have it. So at least you can jump on there. And bye, Adrian. So yes, so definitely sign up there for Frugal Mail, and then you'll get the updates on that. Early bird, I'm gonna send out the link for that. We open up on the 17th of November, and it's going to be, when I say rock bottom, and then we're going to have 2 freebies for Small Business Saturday. So I've already announced that one of them will be my side hustle 30-day challenge. And basically when you basically get like plot out over 30 days exactly what to do over 30 days to get your side hustle up, running, and making some coinage. So that's what you're going to have for Small Business Saturdays. Yes, Miss Taylor, yes, I am. Not just credit repair, but some of everything. So this is the Ask Me Anything session. So we've done money, student loans, credit, business, all of that good stuff. So ask away. Experian credit score is 50 points higher than Equifax. I looked at both reports and they have the same information. Why such a huge variation? How can I get the lower score up? So sometimes they have the same name and accounts, but if you go into the payment history, like line, but like each individual thing, you may see some variations. It could be something as far as the date, how many of like okay or the green showing positive payment history that it's showing per bureau. Maybe a lot of little stuff like that that we often overlook. So I would just kind of look, and let me know if you're looking at like FICO scores, if you're looking at like your Experian here and Equifax there, because some people will look at Credit Karma, then they'll get Experian in the app, and those are like 2 different scoring types. So make sure that you're looking at the same, that is the same type and version, because even Vantage has like, it's Vantage 3.0, Vantage 4.0, which is the most recent one. There's Experian for credit cards. There's Experian Vantage. Like, it's just, so many different versions out there. So make sure you're comparing the right one, because that could be another reason for the variation. All right, so Miss Taylor, I hope, is it Rabia? Let me know in the comments. I can wait on your question. We have like a few more minutes left, so get them in. Get them in. I'll stay on an extra like few minutes just because Zoom gave me such a headache. I just don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out eventually, but right now it is not letting me be great. I'm actually going to send a message to Zoom so that they can help me out, but it definitely won't happen for this one. It's too soon. Got to make sure that we give y'all this good knowledge of making some money. Okay, this is definitely the season of side hustle. Real, for real, for real. All right, so you said you sent me what? Let me go. She said she sent me her question in another area. So let's see. Where would you have sent me your question? Let me know, because I don't see it. I don't see it. Sorry. I want to know. I want to know. I don't see it. All right. So let me go to your other question. There is information going forward on Instagram that says there are laws prohibiting the 3 credit bureaus from legally posting late payments to an open account. Is that true? It is absolutely not true. There's a very popular person on YouTube, actually, who, how can I put this? He is reading a part of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act that has nothing to do with late payments, nothing to do with reporting. And he is stating that this is his proof per the Fair Credit Reporting Act, consumer law, that he'll literally say that consumer law, that late payment, it's illegal for late payments to report on open accounts or period on our credit reports. That part of the Fair Credit Reporting Act has nothing to do with reporting and everything to do with what is acceptable as far as the type of information that can be, that the bureaus can use to accept information on our credit reports. And so it says like hearsay and all of this other stuff. And that's literally, remember, the Fair Credit Reporting Act was around since the 70s, right? And so that was during a time where your personal reputation or somebody verbally said something about their relationship with you that would cause negative stuff to end up on your credit reports. Back then, we didn't even have access to our credit reports. There was a law enacted in 2005, somewhere in the 2000s, early 2000s, in which we then have access to our credit reports for free once a year. But before that, we literally had to be denied something and fight tooth and nail for it. So he's taking that small portion of the Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act and saying that, you know, it's illegal for late payments to report on your credit reports. They shouldn't be reporting as open accounts. And this has like spread like wildfire, just as untrue information, unfactual information spreads. No, I wish it was the case. It is not. I am just happy for the changes to, you know, medical collections. I actually just did an article on that. I'll share the link on Friday. There's a small, I think it were, I don't want to mess up, it was a small Black-owned online news thing, but we did all about medical collections and all of the unfactual information going out there. So just to answer your question, I wish it was true, but it is so not. Like, the lobbyists will fight tooth and nail, tooth and nail to keep that negative information as far as late payments on their credit report, because open accounts, how you are actively managing accounts that are open, that is some of the most valuable information for lenders and creditors when they're looking to extend money or credit to us. That's going to be a tough one to ever, like, I don't see that ever happening. As far as I'm saying, like, no, that's not going to be on our reports anymore. That's going to be, that's going to be deep, Jeff. So unfortunately, that is not true. All right, this is in a Zoom room. Did you say that? Yes, I did. One of the freebies on Saturday will be about side hustles. So it's literally going to have everything. It's going to have some of the templates and plug and play worksheets and all that good stuff that we're going to have in our major class, which we were supposed to have this year, but you guys know what's going on with the family. So we're definitely going to have it next year. The first quarter of next year is going to be absolutely lit. So I hope you're either going to be a wealth creator inside of my online academy, or you stay like super duper plugged in as a prosperity partner, because it's definitely going to be lit. All right, let me go to some of my pre-submitted questions. Let me see. This one, okay, I answered this one in another post, so that's good. I answered how to increase your scores and what to focus on. I have a medical debt from 2020 that I need removed. I don't have any other bills except for my mortgage. I'm pretty sure that I owe it. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and I missed a few bills. How do I go about to remove it? So this should have have gotten, I mean, it's under $500, so it should have been like already done. So when's the last time, like how old of a credit report are you looking at? But at the end of the day, those are like some of the easiest to remove just because of some of the laws that have been recently passed. And at the end of the day, you can also do a pay to delete. Medical collections were like the easiest ones, but since it's so old, it may not have been impacted by some of the changes. Because I see you gave me 2 dates. I'm not sure which one. I chose 2020, but you gave me a much earlier date, so I'm not sure which one you're rocking with as far as how old it is. But essentially, you could do a pay to delete just to get it over with. But I would love, like, if you see this replay, I would love for you to give me more information on like why you feel you need it removed so bad. Like, if it's the first date that you gave me, it's like super old. If it's like 3 years ago, okay. You said that's the only debt you have. If this is the only thing that you have on your credit with the exception of your mortgage, the fact that you don't have anything else reporting but this one collection and then your mortgage, that could be why your scores are not where you need them to be. Remember, we talked about them 5 factors. Payment history. Yes, that collection impacts your payment history, but it's 3 years old. And if it's the other date is even older than that, then you have your mortgage, which you've been paying on month over month over month, paying on it well, right? And you've been doing that for a few years, but then you admitted you have nothing else. And so one of the things that you're missing that's super, super good for building your credit is credit cards. And I know people can be a little iffy depending on their past relationship with them, but how you want to use them is literally to integrate them into the stuff that you're already doing, your budget already. Integrate it into your budget so you're not going out there just shopping for the heck of it and creating debt just to get some stuff going. But you're like, hey, I have this membership. Let me put it on my credit card. I'm already paying it. So I'll just switch out the payment. Instead of paying it with my debit card or, directly draft it from my bank account, let me put the credit card there. And then the money that I was taking to pay for the cash, I'm going to pay the credit card. So you're literally just swapping out and you're not increasing. You're usually just automating it. That's very key, but automating how you pay it by switching it out. You're integrating into your budget. So that's super duper 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 important to get. But if you get like 2 cards, that little collection is not going to go anywhere. But if you just want it gone, if you just want it gone, then you can go ahead and like do a pay to delete. I mean, I hate for you to do that if it's the older date and it's past your statute of limitations. Like, I would really hate for that to happen. So let me know what is up. All right, so this is one. Let me actually make this bigger so that I can read it in full. All right, so you said that you are just starting off in the credit repair industry. When am I offering my next class? I don't know when I'm going to offer my next class. I hadn't planned on until maybe March or April of next year, but you said you're already in the industry. So that must mean something's not working. Usually when people first start being interested in have courses and being a credit repair company / credit educator, meaning you're doing courses and teaching and instructional stuff about credit, and I also have financial coach. So when people tell me that they're not getting clients, I kind of want to ascertain why. And a lot of people try to build businesses solely off of social media. And if you are social media savvy, if you have the time for social media because there's a strategy behind it, if you don't want to use paid ad strategy but want to go straight social, then you have to make social media like your second job. And that can be a lot while also trying to service the clients that you do have. I mean, it's a lot to manage. So there has to be balance around all of it. And that's one of the reasons why I always stress to be hood popular. You want to know the people, basically you want to be popular in your hood. People, you want people to know your name, know that you are the person who fixes credit. They should know this at your church. They should know this at your kid's school. You should put something as a rapper. You should have t-shirts on. You should be passing out cards. Or what we used to do is go to our kids events, and we would get candy bars, but instead we would take off the whatever wrapping, let's say Hershey's wrapper, and we would replace it with ours. We would do that. I printed that stuff at home. We would have a wrapping on the car. Those are just, I don't want to say a wrap. We have those little big magnet things that will go on each door. We would also have t-shirts on. We would talk to everybody. I would say go out prospecting. So basically I made advertising a part of my everyday life. Every realtor that I contacted, every mortgage loan officer. I wasn't too big on car dealerships because I was a realtor, so it wasn't something that I really went after. But if that's you, go for that. Title companies and what else? Foreclosure people, attorneys, divorce attorneys. That's a good one. Divorce attorneys are good. And I literally made myself available. And just like I told the other person in real estate, investing to network, that's you. Become hood popular. I cannot stress that enough. Now, if you have a time to go live on social media, do that because lives are live. Okay. So whether you do it on whatever platform you choose, people also try to be all over the place. That's okay. It's easier with a team. But if I were you, I would pick one platform and just like dominate it. Two work well together, such as Facebook and Instagram. And then I think that YouTube works well with maybe TikTok and Instagram as well. Those three kind of work well together. I love me some YouTube. That's me. But I don't do a lot of like social media stuff. We do ads. That's our strategy. As soon as I start making some money, child, I pull back. And you guys have seen that. If you've been rocking with me for a while, I used to be live like two times a week. Okay. 2 times a week, okay? And sometimes every day, like because live is pushed more than anything. But eventually you have some burnout. So then you have to start repurposing some information. Once I start building my email list, that was better than anything you can possibly imagine because now I have a more solid nurturing relationship. I can ask you guys more questions like, you won't believe the type of emails that I get in response. But no matter which social media platform you use, make sure you are building your email list. And that applies to the individual who asked me about real estate as well. Your email list is gold, platinum. I don't know what's bigger than platinum, but it's that because it's yours. That becomes your community. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what method you didn't let me know what you were doing to grow your business. But for me, becoming hood popular was it. And remember when I was first starting, you've been rocking with me for a while, I would have a standing live twice a week and then eventually once a week. And I would call it the show. I forgot what it was called at the time. Let's just say it was a Credit Makes Sense show, right? And every single, I think it was Wednesday at whatever time o'clock, the table was going live. People expected it. They were, sending me, hey, what questions would you like? What would you like our next topic to be? I want to just read that issue in the comments. No, you're going to fill out a form and get on my email list. Why? Because now I am building my own community, mine that can't be shut down by Facebook, can't be shut down by Instagram or any other platform. So make sure you're doing that. And I am big on structure. Structure. Our last class, I literally showed everything mapped out for the entire year inside of the Wealth Creators community. I actually did a couple of surveys for them, like, what do you need? What are you going for? And then I'm delivering it. And then for our community prosperity partners, we're doing the same thing. I know what content we're coming through. One of the main things, I'm not gonna tell you because y'all on here, but I'll probably send out another survey to see if I have more. And then whatever I don't personally do or specialize in, AKA student loans, okay, AKA investing, AKA taxes, AKA career coaching, things of that sort. I have wealth partners who I can pull on. And then you can create a referral or affiliate type of relationship to earn additional dollars that way. So I did a few things in this short little time frame. Number one, I told you to become hood popular. Number two, I said to pick one platform or maybe one platform that you dominate and then repurpose the contents on whatever other platforms that you choose. Number three, I told you to build your email list. That is your number one priority. Build it, build it, build it. Stay plugged into the community that you're building. Aveeno, Nike, they have a whole squad. Who is that else that, who else? Anyway, any company that's big has like a following. I mean, look at Beyonce and Rihanna, okay? People talk mess about them all the time, but they have a huge following. They have named their community. They, you know, stay plugged in. They may even disappoint them sometimes, but they come through and they make them feel like a togetherness. They spotlight them, they feature them. So that's what you want to do. Well, that's stop at build your email list. And then I say consistency so people can know how to show up and make sure you're still streaming people to that email list, streaming people to their email list, and they can't just sit there. There has to be some communication. There has to be some communication. People should feel connected to you. You should know who your people are, who your squad is, your tribe, your partners, okay? You should know who they are. And one of the exercises that we did was like a client avatar. And we did a client avatar solely for the product that we were, or service that we were marketing. So credit repair. If others were doing credit repair and education, we had a client avatar for that. If others were doing credit education, credit repair, and budgeting, okay, client avatar for that. First, we'd say, out of everybody, what does our target audience look like? What do they need? How can I show up as a solution based on what they need? I can show up here, I can show up here, I can show up here. Okay, so out of all of my target audience who need X, Y, and Z, what does that person look like? What does that person look like? These are client avatars. So you have to get real nitty gritty about who you are showing up as a solution for. Okay, that's what you want to do. That was thorough, but hopefully it answers your question. See, Latoya just dropped some info. Student loan debt from 15 years ago, 15-ish in debt, 45 annual income, currently in nursing school, have not taken out any new loans since starting back school about 2.5 years ago. Plan to buy and live full-time in a travel trailer as a travel nurse. I love that. Considering bankruptcy to rid student loans before my income goes up. Is that a good idea? How will bankruptcy impact your career as a travel nurse? Because I have had other travel nurses who have recently found bankruptcy state that it kind of hindered them a little bit. So that may be something, I don't know if you have if you're a part of a community, whether it's a LinkedIn community or a Facebook community or any other type of forum where you can ask those specific questions or at least go through and look, but I would definitely see that. And in bankruptcy, you do have a means test. So I know that Natalie mentioned that you can reach out to her right now. Did she give me her info yet? I don't think she did. I have to message her. Hopefully I'll have it by Friday, you guys, and then it'll be in Friday's email. And then I'll update the replay with her information as well. But I mean, she knows the new criteria for filing bankruptcy. You still have to pass a means test. I don't know how they're going to factor student loans into that, but that's something that she specializes in. But they're not just wiping out just to wipe out. And 15K isn't like a lot of debt because they kind of view student loan and consumer debt differently when they're doing the means test. So I will consult with her because I don't want to steer you wrong because I didn't even know about the new rule. Before she told me, like I have read about it because it's not my industry, you know, I knew I can ask her. So I'm going to give it to you. So I'll actually text her now so she'll know tomorrow morning to give me the info that she wants me to give you guys to follow up. So yes. All right. So parting messages. I just saw one more pop up in the Zoom room. Thank you for going over the information about credit repair. Even though I'm in another industry, this definitely helps me out as well. Oh, you're welcome. Yep. And I'll be offering some other like lives specifically just for business, because those of you with side businesses and in business full time, it's time to monetize. A lot of us have been walking around with long-term hobbies because they're not that profitable, and it's time to get to 6 figures, get it solid, and then grow from there. So yeah, we gotta, as my coach says, we gotta get to the coins. We call him the coin father. The coin father, so we can get to the coins. So I'll be doing some other trainings on that. I know the one that's coming up in December is passive income, specifically for current business owners. And I'll also do a side hustle playbook before the end of the year as well. And then we'll just do lives as follow up as you guys are working through that to get your side hustle up or to get your passive income products up and going so that you can profit from that on top of your services. So that's going to be dope. All right. Parting questions before we hang it up. And yes, I will be sending out the information on the side hustle call this Saturday. So I'll be sending out the Zoom link, and then just know I'll send the email on YouTube to just shoot on over. If there's an overflow, the overflow is going to stream live on YouTube. So you just have to go to the FubuHernace.tv. I'll send you a link. So everything will be on and popping. All right, I think I got everybody. I don't see anybody else. Let me make sure, y'all. Y'all will come for me. So let me make sure. Let me make sure I got everybody. Look at my husband. You were not on YouTube. I know, sir. I tried. I promise you I tried. Well, let's do a glow up. This is from one of our partners, Ms. Henderson. She says, so much has gone on. You've helped transform my life. I have my first home. It has been a year now. I am so happy. I have a new car. I just purchased my first investment property. I'm setting it up to be a STR, that's short-term rental, and I'm looking to put it on Airbnb and VRBO as well, just to make sure that I can capitalize as much as possible on my property. I am so excited. Look, and then she asked me how me and the boys doing. You guys are so cute. You guys, I be saying the boys, and y'all come back and you guys be like, how are the boys? The boys are great. Thank you so much. Your FICO scores are good. Listen, I still owe 50-something thousand. I started off at 148. I have just been hesitant to pay this off. I was hoping a miracle would happen. It don't look like this miracle is happening. So I know exactly what you are talking about. So I don't know if there's a way for you to work in some type of nonprofit hospital. Definitely talk to Natalie about this to see if you can at least get on the public service loan forgiveness program. And at least it's, you know, it's 10 years and it's not like most of you have to wait 20 to 25. So maybe that can be something that you can do, but I would at least talk to her and see what your options are. So open up this Friday's email. I'll have her contact information there. Schedule a consultation. It's a risk-free consultation, and see what your options are before you focus on bankruptcy. Somebody's filed bankruptcy. You know, I'm not bankruptcy averse, but I do feel that you want to file when needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, file when needed. If not, like, I would hate for you to have some type of hindrance in finding the best employment after you've been in school, the best employment options as a travel nurse, because travel nurses make bank. And I don't want this bankruptcy stopping you from getting as much bank as you possibly can. And I love the idea of the travel trailer. I wouldn't want the trailer getting financing for the trailer, because it's not the same financing that you will get. What is that type of financing called? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. We were going to do RV life before we decided to hop on over to Mexico. And I can't remember the name of the loan. Oh my gosh. You probably know. So I don't know if you're going to do van life, or you're going to like pull the trailer with a car, and you're going to need like the van or the truck and the trailer that you're pulling. I don't know kind of what you're doing, but you don't want the bankruptcy stopping you from getting that next level. I am so excited about this. So please make sure that you keep me updated. I have always wanted to travel in like a camper van, do like van life. RV is kind of big, but I can definitely do van life, right? And a fifth wheeler is too big, but I can definitely do van life or a like a little short bus. So I'll live through you. So make sure that you keep me updated on that. I love it. Can you recommend someone to help build business credit? You know, the last person that we referred to, she mainly did classes, and then she like helped with funding. So let me know like specifically what you're building. Because I may like have some resources just to like get you going. And then when you get to the funding part, I can send you to her. Because if she's going to have you like pay, right? And I have something for like, you know, the basic builder stuff, and I already have something that I can give you, I'd rather you just start there and then go to her when you actually need like the funding part. So you have my email? Well, I'm not going to give you mine. I give you Tara's, because I don't like a full email. I'm one of those people who cannot stand my inbox to be, oh, you're good. She may even have a Facebook group. Let me reach out to her. Let me write this down so I don't forget for tomorrow. Because I believe she was going to start a Facebook group, and she always will have a ton of information. Contact for Lynn. Lynn, please give me an email so I can know how to follow up with you. But I'll reach out to her because if she has a Facebook group with the information, that's probably the best way to go. And then she can also let you know, like if she tries to charge you for like a workbook or something, don't do that. Like I have a ton of stuff, okay, inside of Credit on Fire that, you know, I can hop over to you. But when it gets to the funding part, she has helped a lot of people that I know. But you have to have the business set up. You already mentioned you have a separate entity with 3 LLCs, which is great. Now it's just about getting funding, right? It's just about getting funding for it. So, and starting. I need business funding credit to repair 3 homes given to me. Do you have any ideas? If they were given to you as a person, that means they're not a business. But if you have made them a business, like you moved the properties over into like an LLC or something, give me more information. I mean, because we did that. And we literally just used, who did we use? Hold on, I might have their information. Use a couple of people. I'll admit, I'm gonna tell you all of them while I try to find this information, right? Number one, we did use, I have high limit credit cards. So we were using those checks that they give you in the mail. What are those called? Balance transfer 0% checks. We rocked out with that for a little bit. We have renovated with that. I had like over 50K with that, and that was lovely. But that was something that I was going to refi, and the other ones I was flipping, so that was great. We have done hard money lenders. We have never done seller financing. I think my husband may have, but I haven't. And we have done other lenders. I'll have to look for them. It's been a little bit, guys. But we found them. I don't know where we found them at, actually. I think they were referred to us in a real estate investing LinkedIn group. That's where we found them at. And it was great. So I placed them in an LLC. Okay, great. So if you need the funding right now, then if you can't, I mean, you have to build a business credit. It takes a while to build business credit. Like, it's not like overnight. So in this case, you can decide if you are going to, because now it's not a business loan. I mean, it's not a personal loan, it's a business loan. And it's very difficult to get a business loan unless you are relying on the equity. So, I mean, and I have done that as well. Who do we use? I didn't like them much. I'm always don't want to give them to you because I didn't like them that much. Let me see. But they came through, and they came through quickly. So sometimes that's all you need. And then I also would think twice about keeping whatever loan that you get right now. Like sometimes the loan that you get to rehab, in most cases, is not the loan that you want to stick with. And now since it's not in your name, but it's a business name, your options are going to be a lot different than when you are, now that you're a business. We use Stratton Equities, but there's one more, let me see, that we use that we had a more positive experience with. Let me see if I can find their information. Let's see. You have to email me. I don't want to keep you long while I'm trying to look for this, okay? I did use them. I did like them better. Their customer service was really good. They're thorough. And so I ended up going with Stratton Equities because, you know, they were quick. I was able to get it, you know, what I needed to get done quicker. And that's what I wanted. So I will have to look for this other name, but I had a better experience with them. And I will have to find that information. I have to go deep looking. I left the email address to my assistant above, the hello one. Email me there so I don't forget. And I have always, at a certain point, I mentioned that earlier in the video, held all of my properties in LLCs. So let me try to, let me see. No, I don't have it here as well. I gotta look. I don't know what I did. I tried think of one quick way to find this information, but I don't have it. What about a real estate holding company? I'm all about protecting. I kind of answered already, but I'm all about protecting myself. Even with, when I do my training for financial coaches and credit coaches, and even when I used to do it for real estate, I am all about protecting my personal self from my business. So I'm gonna leave it there, okay? I would say do your investigation, do what works for you, and proceed that way, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I apologize that I had to do the switcheroo again, but like I said, this was a practice session to see if I can connect Zoom to YouTube, all scheduled and stuff, and it just was not working. So we are just going to go live from Zoom on my regular channel and do it that way on Saturday. So, but the class this Saturday is going to be lit. Please, please, please join if you know you are looking for a nice, simple side hustle that is going to bring in some extra coins so that you can destroy this debt faster, soar these scores faster, and then increase your savings more as well. So, all right, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for rocking out with me, and I will see you on Saturday. The emails will be going out on Friday with everything, and to make sure I don't miss it for Frugal Friday's email, please use that email address that I told you guys to, because you can't rely on his memory, okay? So you have to remind me via email, all right? So I will chat with you guys via email on Friday for our Frugal Friday mail. See you then, bye. Oh, and on Saturday, okay? So I will definitely see you on Saturday, but I will chat with you on Friday. All right, guys, bye.